So I'm really curious, what benefits does VCoin have over using fiat or perhaps an external stablecoin like USDC?
Absolutely. So originally, for our metaverse, we had credits. So these are just like in-game credits that we used to sell through fiat. And then we worked with the SEC for a long time to get a no action letter for Bitcoin. So that's one of the big difference. It's one of only three tokens to have a SEC no action letter, I believe. And then it probably is the only token that's launched and is actually thriving. I believe USDC, Tether, none of those guys have uh, SEC no action letter, although now they're working closely with the government, but formally they don't have anything like that. Also with USDC, you might have seen there was a scare when Silicon Valley Bank went down where it wasn't sure where all the deposits were, if USDC was going to be okay or not. It depegged for a while and people could have lost some money. Whereas with Bitcoin, things are very different. With Bitcoin, we worked with the SEC to get a no action letter. Bitcoin is backed by the company's balance sheet. So regardless of which bank fails or what's happening on the outside, Bitcoin will always be backed by Imbue and by MetaJuice, and we'll always support the redemption. The big difference also with Bitcoin is it's meant for consumptive utility, only meant to be used in our ecosystem. It's meant for people within our ecosystem to purchase digital goods and services on a platform and gift it to their friends or do whatever they want. And then at the point that they no longer need that Bitcoin, they can cash out. So it has a very limited use case as far as our ecosystem. It's not meant to be used for DeFi or any of these other activities that USDT or any other stablecoins would be. So it's kind of like tailor-made for use within our metaverse. And that's how we got the SEC no action letter, because it was meant for usage within our ecosystem. If you brought in something like USDT, the problem would be, again, you'd have to have a crypto to fiat on-ramp where you'd collect the crypto, you'd collect the fiat payment to an on-ramp, pay 3, 4, 5% how much they charge. Then the user would have to load it into their own non-custodial wallet, set up the seed phrase and all of that. So it was very complicated to do the entire onboarding for USDC. With Bitcoin, what we've done is, because it's so tightly integrated within our ecosystem, you can purchase Bitcoin through our iOS app, through our Google Play app, or through our web, and it's all very seamless. It all, for Apple, it goes through Apple Pay. For Google, it goes through Google Pay. And then we have a fiat payment provider processor on the website that'll process the fiat payments on the web as well and give you Bitcoin. So it's super seamless for a web audience, and it's natively integrated within the ecosystem. So even before we launched our NFT store last year, you could still use Bitcoin to purchase digital services on the platform. And the big use case was gifting and tipping. So anytime in our metaverse, when someone sets up a party or a social gathering, that person's called a host. So they can set up what's called a gated room. You pay a certain amount of money. It's not much, but you pay a few bucks to get another room and have a party with your friends and things like that. So typically those payments used to be made in credits, which is not really Web3. With VCoin, they were able to pay that in VCoin, and the hosts were able to cash out. So we have a large community, 200,000 or so creators, and then several hundreds of thousands of hosts who host these rooms, who host these events in the metaverse. And some of them actually depend on this for a living. It's no different than some YouTube creators or TikTok creators who do this full time. We have a thriving community that does that as well. And we wanted them to be able to cash out VCoin, to be able to cash that out into fiat. So that was the big reason why we went with VCoin, so that it's easy and seamless for our community without having to worry about non-custodial wallets. And then depending on a provider who could, you didn't know how stable they were. And we kind of saw that during the Terra Luna collapse, where, for a couple of years, everyone thought that UST was going to be the big coin, and there's so much money chasing that, and within a couple of days, it went to zero. So there's a lot of risk associated with another party if you depended on them for the stable coin. With us, with VCoin, we actually back the token. We run the metaverse, closed loop. We maintain it. We also actively monitor for things like fraud, money laundering. We have internal compliance teams, and we make sure none of those activities are happening. And that's how we were able to get the SEC no action letter, as well as, we always maintain the peg. So anytime you want to cash out, we maintain the peg. It's 250 Bitcoin to $1. So those are kind of some of the big differences between a Bitcoin and another crypto stablecoin like USDC or USDT.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You're really able to control the risk. You're not relying on some other entity to make sure that they're handling all of this from a legal regulatory perspective. And I can also see there being some benefits around kind of having your own branding around it and changing kind of the denominations to something that's useful for you, especially if you're dealing with like very small value payments. You can make it doesn't have to be dollars and cents. You can make it kind of up to you how you set that denomination.